There we go.
Perfect.
Awesome. Hey guys, so we're so glad that you guys could be here today. You are welcome to share your screen with us, or if you don't feel comfortable doing that, that is totally fine as well. But we would love everyone to introduce themselves over here in the chat window. So you have a little spot over here where you can click on chat. And if you just type your name, who invited you, and where you're from. So I'm Kristy, and I'm from Austin, Texas, and I am so excited that all of you guys have hopped on tonight to learn a little bit about Tonya and I's stories and to hear more about what we do.
And I'm Tonya. Sometimes you might see me on social media as T-Lip. I'm a social worker, and I work in a therapeutic school. And so I have a fake name on social media. I honestly have for years, and it's helped me kind of keep my name private. I apologize if you can hear my cat. He is like trying to get in this room. Can you hear him, Kristy?
I can. I'm used to him though. It's not bad. It's not bad.
I should just let him in there.
Well, at least we know it's Tonya's stomach that's not growling.
Here, I'll go get the kitten.
Well, Melissa and Bridget, we are so glad that you guys are here tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
I will have to, so Brigitte is actually how you pronounce it.
Sorry, Brigitte.
Yeah, that's okay. Brigitte, you'll have to remind me. Is it Swedish? I can't remember. She can always type it in there. I know she's making dinner.
Oh, sorry. And I think you've been on before, and I'm super sorry.
Oh my gosh, no worries. Yeah, I have my video muted and my screen just because I had an eye appointment after work, and then I had to run home and make dinner. So my dinner is about to be done, so I don't want to be interrupting this with my whatever. But yeah, my name's Brigitte, which is which is a Norwegian name, so it's kind of interesting thing. My parents kind of made up my name, which is fun, but yeah, but it looks like Bridget, so I'm used to that too.
I love your plants back there, Brigitte. It looks really pretty.
I know. I just
I love it. I'm like, look, it's those shelves.
Randy, my dad just made the shelves, and I have a million plants. So I was like, I gotta put them somewhere. So that's what I'm doing. So thank you.
I love it. I love it a lot. I'm all about the plants.
I am too. Our pumpkin seed came up today, so the girls are super pumped about that. They're like, we're gonna have pumpkins. I was like, yeah, probably in December.
Oh, you're girls. Well, we can go ahead and kind of get started on how we got started with Beachbody. But as you know, Kristy's from Texas and I'm from Illinois. We actually met because we were in a boot camp together, and we just both fell in love with what Beachbody has to offer. We both saw really good results. And I'll let Kristy kind of share how she truly really got started. And then I'll share how I really got started, because it didn't just start with, we're like, yes, let's do a boot camp. There was a lot of behind that. And there's a reason why we want to share that, because it plays such an impact on our why and why this has become so important to us. I'm sure if you've seen Kristy's stories or my stories, we are impacted by women that we're working with daily. And we truly feel like we're called to do this because we feel like we're changing people's lives in a sense. Like they're finding their health and they're finding their energy and time with their kids now. And it's pretty incredible. So we want to share that background story so you can understand kind of why it's so important for us and why we love to do what we do. So Kristy, I'll let you share first and how you get started, because you've been doing this a little bit longer than I have, and then I can share after you have.
Awesome. So I started on my journey 3.5 years ago. A girlfriend from work brought me a set of her Beachbody DVDs. And I had been talking at work of how I needed some change. January had come. January comes for lots of people, New Year's resolutions. We want to make changes. But that year I had decided I didn't really want to make, it wasn't a New Year's resolution, like it was a change. Like I was ready to have a lifestyle change, but I didn't know exactly how I was going to make that happen. And my girlfriend at work had been doing these Beachbody workouts probably for a couple of years. And like, I saw her like completely transform. And I was like, I had talked to her about it, but I knew that I wasn't going to be able to do that. Like I wasn't going to be able to do those workouts. I wasn't going to be able to get up in the morning. I wasn't going to be able to do all the things that she was doing. And so one day she just brought me the DVDs and it's like, I really think you need to try this. And I was like, I don't know about that. But I went home and I actually talked to my girlfriend at work. We printed out a workout schedule because she didn't have all the material. She just had the DVDs. And I kind of looked over it. I was a little overwhelmed, but I was also like, I don't know, maybe I will just try it. I mean, it doesn't hurt to put the DVD in, right? And so that's where my journey started, and I've never looked back, you guys. I started with that set of Chalene Extreme DVDs. I did the DVDs 3 times through. I had a huge transformation. I've lost over 40 pounds. I've maintained for the most part. I fluctuated 5-10 pounds here and there, but never back out of control. And anytime those few pounds hop on, I realize I know what's going on. It's my nutrition, right? So, because I've never stopped working out since I started. And maybe when I started in the beginning, maybe I worked out 3 or 4 days a week. And maybe now I work out like 6 days a week because I crave it. Like I want to work out now. I didn't start off wanting to work out, you guys. That was not my jam. It was hard. I cried a lot. It was hard. I was very overweight. I was not in a place where I had been doing any type of physical activity. And to be honest, I was just filling myself with junk. It was junk food that I filled my body with. So it took a long time for me to go from learning what I needed to put into my body, learning my system of what I needed to do as far as working out, forming the healthy habits, to where I am today. But here I am 3.5 years later, still doing the Beachbody workouts, loving them. I love the change. I love how they're always adding new things, but I love that what I started with is always there for me to go back to and is always an option for me to do. And when I'm having one of those weeks where I'm just feeling bleh, I turn on Chalene Extreme, and it brings me back to that place that I was 3.5 years ago, and realizing how most of that workout, I thought I was going to die getting through the workout. And now I crave that workout. Like I can't wait to push play on that workout because it just lifts up my spirits. And it reminds me that I can do hard things, and you can too.
Thanks for sharing that. I love your story because I feel like so many people can relate to it. Like where you just are like, I can't do that. Like you see, like even now as a coach, when I first saw Morning Meltdown 100 come out, I saw Kelsey doing those moves and I was like, I can't do that thing with her legs. Like what? And then you get started and you try and you might modify, you might try again. And sure enough, you're like, oh, it's amazing what you can do when you put your mind to it.
It really is amazing. It's funny because in my feed, an 80-day obsession photo popped up into my feed in this last week where I can't even remember what the move is called, but it's that's day 6 workout where you're like up in the air. And I'll never forget doing that move the first time and thinking she was nuts. Like there's no way I'm going to ever be able to do that. But no, I have a picture of me and my body is up. And you guys, I'm not like super fit lady. So don't be like, oh, she's, no. Like I've tried hard and I realized that I can do hard things. I just have to try and I have to execute it. Right. Mm-hmm. So it's a shift in your mindset more than anything.
That's actually one of my favorite parts of doing the coaching because it's like there's what they call these vital behaviors, and that's just part of it is working on your mindset. But So how I got started was originally, I'm just moving there we go. Originally, about 7 years ago, I was in grad school for social work, and I went from being very, very active in intramural volleyball. My undergrad degree was exercise science pre-physical therapy. So I love like moving my body and working out. I got into grad school for social work. I moved away from everyone I knew. I got an apartment by myself, and I was in grad school, and I was also working as a grad assistant. And then I was also doing an internship. And so I got into a really bad habit of sitting down a lot, typing papers, writing, and just constantly sitting and just putting on this weight, eating, stress eating, drinking coffee, just kind of in like a zombie mode, just trying to get through. And so I put on 25 pounds. And so I remember watching an info commercial, and it was Turbo Fire with Shalene. I love Shalene. She's amazing. I got Turbo Fire, but I was inconsistent. I didn't have a community. I didn't sign up for a boot camp. After I finished grad school, I was scrolling through social media, and on Facebook, I ran into my upline's feed, and I saw her transformation, and I was like blown away. I immediately messaged her like, hey, what are you doing? Just trying to get information on like what I could do to try and get myself in better health again. She invited me into a boot camp. I was able to drop the 25 pounds. I was drinking the shakes. I felt like the best I'd felt in a long time. And she's like, and I'm the kind of person, I love to cheer people on. I was in this boot camp and I'm like, oh my God, everyone's doing great. You know, I'm encouraging everybody. And she's like, you should do this coaching thing. You're already doing all the stuff. You're sharing, you're helping people. And I was like, oh, no, I just finished grad school. I got to find this social work job. I love my career. I want to focus on that. And so I pushed it off. And that was in like 2013, the year 2013. Fast forward, the last few years have been really, really hard. My dad got sick. He passed away. I put on 30 pounds. And I got to a point last April where I just was like, I need to do something to find myself again. Not only was my home life really stressful, but I was in a work position where I had been moving up the ladder, and I was in a full-time therapy position, but it was still kind of like, it was in a new building. So I just felt like I was just constantly working, stressed out with my home life, traveling to see my dad and my family. And it was really, really stressful. And I got to a point where I just needed a change. And I contacted my upline, who that boot camp, now she's my upline, but she was my boot camp leader before. And I messaged her and I said, I'm ready. I'm ready to do this thing. Like, I need the accountability. I need the community. It worked for me before. I know that if I put myself out there, it can help me again. I'm holding back tears because I remember how bad I felt at that time. And I remember how much better I felt while I was doing all this. And the first few months I felt great and I lost the weight. But when I really dove into all of the vital behaviors of coaching, which includes personal development, and really celebrating the people that are in your community, when I started doing all of those things, like Kristy said, my mindset really started to shift. I really could see like my own potential, not just as a coach, but just in life. Things just start to kind of open up, and you kind of realize like how much joy there is and how much there is to celebrate instead of just going through the motions. And that's just one of the things I truly love about coaching. And when you're just going and you're just doing those behaviors, if you're really invested in yourself and really invested in trying to help people, the business side of things just kind of fall in place. Yeah, there's going to be hard months where you might not have anyone sign up or want to join you in your boot camp, and that's okay. As long as you continue to just show up, you're still at least focusing on yourself. But what I can say is Kristy and I have always had an attitude of our main focus is really helping people get started, loving on people, really trying to help them find their way with their health. And when you focus on serving other people, you're actually able to create income that way, because those people can feel that and those people benefit from it. You're not going to be able to help every single person that wants to join you because they really have to be at a point where they're ready. But what I can say is I got a message from somebody, and I'm going to hold it together, guys. I don't know if you saw my stories maybe it was last night. I got a story from someone. I started talking to her in December, in January, February, March, April. She finally says, my dietitian is going on a leave of absence. I'm ready to do the nutrition program you talk about. You guys, this is a woman who wanted to lose over 100 pounds because she wanted a knee surgery and she wanted to feel better. She's been messaging me each month like, oh my God, I'm eating more. This is working. And just this week, she's like, I'm down 43 and a half pounds and 4 pant sizes. She's like, I haven't felt this good in so long. I can't thank you enough. And the thing that she remembers most is she's like, I always remember you saying, just have the courage to try. And you guys, like, that kind of stuff is why we do this. It's one of those things where it's like, you get to have such an impact on people. And the income is awesome because then it helps pay off debt that I have. But really, in reality, the fact that you can take care of yourself and help other people just makes this like so much better. I'm going to try not to get emotional, but that's honestly why I love to do this. It's why we show up even after a long day of work and we're tired and we know you guys are tired. We appreciate you being on this call, but we do this because we're like, if no one would have invited me to this, if Kelsey wouldn't have plugged that little bug in my ear 6 years ago, I wouldn't have had any idea this was an opportunity. So I just wanted to share, like, that's why I have such a passion for this. It's why I show up on social media, even though I don't like to be on social media very much. I do it because I know that this can help somebody the way it helped me last April, So that's how I got started. Kristy, did you want to say anything else about how you got started, or did you want to move on to the next portion of like how they can get started if they're interested, or if they have questions at this point?
Yeah, we can talk about that. I mean, I've just been on my journey since and found Kelsey and started coaching and love it. I mean, I think your story speaks great links. I think we're both on the same page of helping others is our number one goal, and getting to do that is a blessing. So
Yeah.
It's serving others. I'm a teacher. I don't teach for a living, but I went to school. I have an education degree, and it's not a degree that I've ever used because I do accounting. And this is my way of getting to serve other people and teach other people healthy habits. And it's not just about healthy habits, eating well and moving your body. It's about so much more than that with our community. And like Tonya said, it's about reading personal development. It's about growing your mindset. It's about shifting that mindset. It's about just becoming the person that we were meant to be, and speaking good words to ourselves instead of negativity, and realizing that we can do so much more. Like, we were made for more. And I know that saying has gotten kind of cliche because of Rachel Hollis, but we are. I was listening to a podcast today and by Angie Lee, and she talks about it too. Like, we were made for so much more, but we're not willing to step out of that comfort zone because of fear. And don't let fear keep you from doing something that maybe you're supposed to try it. Maybe that's supposed to be your next step. So.
Yeah, I will say one of my fears of doing it when I did do it is I was at the most unhealthy I felt. I was at the most like low. I wouldn't say like diagnostically depressed, but I was really suffering from grief, and I was in a really bad place. And I don't want that to stop anybody from starting if they're at that place. Not that anybody on this call is there, but I see so many people say, well, I'm not at that fitness level that I think that someone would want to follow me. But I think a lot of times the most successful people are people that show that transformation over time and then continue to maintain it. And I think that it's important that we recognize that to be successful in this, it really starts with working on us first. If your main goal is I want to make sales or I want to make money, that honestly doesn't work. Like, you got to really be like working on you. is the main thing. And then just kind of sharing it with people. And then that's how people are going to want to join in and join your boot camp and, you know, see what this has to offer. It really is about sharing your success. In the company, they have a phrase. One of the things that we do is of the vital behaviors. So there's, you want to, you know, have your personal development. But one of the things they say is, are you being a product of the product? And what that truly means is, are you showing up? Like, are you giving yourself that self-care? Like, are you getting your workouts in? Are you drinking your water? Are you following a nutrition plan, or, you know, trying to stick in guidelines of that? And you don't have to be perfect. Kristy and I both have talked openly, like, you know, our weight will fluctuate sometimes, or we might have a really stressful week and we might fall off, but this community really helps pull you back in. And that's why I love it, because I feel like if I wasn't part of it, it would be so easy to fall on that path again.
Oh,
Where
so easy. I would have already fallen off the wagon a long time ago. But it's because of all of this community that I do stay accountable to myself. And yes, I eat the pizza sometimes, or yes, I do the thing, eat too much. And but always reel back in, because I can tell somebody, like, who, and I did. That happened to me this week. And I leaned in on our nutrition community. And when I did my daily check-in of this is what I ate, I was like, I had a really bad day, you guys. I emotionally ate and it didn't feel good. And I really didn't eat that horrible, but whatever it was that I ate messed up my stomach, and I felt bad. I had to take a bunch of Tums, and it took me an hour to get to sleep because of it. But I was able to tell my group what happened, and they were able to support me about it and help me to feel better and be like, you know, today's a new day, telling me the things that I tell them. So it's about support. It's not about perfectionism. We're not up here telling you that, oh, we always just, you know, eat all these good things and, you know, we never miss a workout anymore because we started. That's not what it's about. It's about community. It's about doing the best that we can. And, you know, like Tonya said, like, we share our successes, but we share our failures. We share the bad days. We share the hard times with each other, and we move on. I mean, Tonya and I have been accountability partners. Did you see my posts that I tagged?
Yes, I did.
So today popped up in my stories. Tonya, I'm tagging, or one of us tagged each other for a water challenge a year ago today. And I thought, well, how ironic that, like, here we are leading this call together tonight. And we've been leading these, for like 4 or 5 months now together. But, that would pop up in my feed, and I thought, that's what this is about, right? Like, this is about, we're holding each other accountable to so much more. Like, we're holding each other accountable. Did you drink your water? And then you popped on and are like, hey, I've only gotten 2 of these in today, but that's what we're here for, you guys. Like, we're here to support each other along the journey, and we support each other. We support you. And you can support other people as well. And it's a really simple thing. If you care about each other, you care about people, you love people, and you want to help people, then this is a great place to be. It truly is.
Yeah.
We're not going anywhere. That was the other thing that I thought was interesting too, because it just shows that we were there then and we're showing up today, and a year later, we're still going to be here showing up, helping other people, because that's our mission and that's what this is all about, right?
Yeah. One thing that I do really want to say is, one thing that helps me beyond the community is I started doing this thing where I do kind of like a snooze you lose in my morning music. I do that Monday through Friday. I do that on purpose, not because I love singing in a camera. I do it because if I don't do it, usually someone will say, hey, I didn't see you in the morning. Are you doing all right? And I was like, oh crap, I better show up. I better get my workout in. These people are watching me. And so, like, sometimes, like, when days are kind of like rough, it's like I'll still show up because I'm like, you know, I'm gonna feel better afterwards. Or maybe it's not a workout day, or maybe you do need to sleep in, and that's okay. But I'm just saying it does have a little extra layer of accountability where you start kind of showing up. There's people who are keeping an eye out, and they may not say something right away, but you know in your mind, if you have someone watching your stories, you see their little pictures on there, it just means you're inspiring somebody today. Whether you know it or not, whether they've said it or not, sooner or later, usually those people will say something like, thank you for showing up. Thank you for being that motivation, because you showed up that day. I decided I was going to press play later because you reminded me, like, I want to feel good. So that's just the really cool thing about what we get to do. So I had to say that piece, because sometimes we're kind of afraid to show up on social media. I was terrified to do that initially. It took me months to get on stories, like months. And I finally did it. I'm like, if they want to judge me, that's fine. I mean, it's it's a fake name. They don't know where I live. I never put my actual town, my city that I live in. I never tag like the exact location that I'm at until after I've been there, unless it's like, I went to a run, like a 5K where there's like 20,000 people. I did take that, but it's very rare that I do those things for safety reasons, but I've never had anyone threaten. I've never had any major things going on social media. I feel like all in all, it's been a very positive experience. I've never had anyone bashing me for trying to be positive and uplifting to people. You may get someone to say something, but I've never had anyone. And I think it's because of the approach I take. I've never tried to be like skinny is the best thing ever, or never been like, you know what I mean? Like, it's always been about whole body wellness and health. And I think if that's your approach, you won't have any issues, Have you ever had anyone come after you, Kristy, about being a health coach?
That's funny that you say that, because I was such a scaredy cat, and I use the word scaredy cat because that's me. At first,
Not anymore.
Not anymore, but in the beginning, I would feel like I was going to throw up every time I did a post. I was so worried what people would think. And it's funny because about 3 months in, I did have a lady that, I'm sorry. It's funny now, but I was so upset about it at the time, but she was like, she was nasty to me. And she was, you only followed me because I'm overweight. You only did this which was not true. I mean, at all. And, I felt really bad. And so I then I'm like trying to like fix it or whatever. And that's when I realized I'm all about Rachel Hollis today. So, but what people think about me doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what this lady thinks about me, because that's not who I am. I don't just go around looking for people that need to lose 40 pounds and friend them. Like, that's not who I am. I would never do that. But that's what she accused me of doing. And honestly, that's the only time that's ever happened. And then we unfriended and moved on.
Oh, funny. So
that's my one funny story, but it's funny now because truly that's what I was afraid of. And then I was so afraid that I was going to get more messages like that. And so that was almost 2 years ago. And I've never gotten another one. I get positive messages all the time. Thank you so much for being so inspiring. Thank you for sharing your journey. Thank you for, sharing your devotional, your Bible, your whatever. So, I mean, there's going to be negative Nellies, right? Like, there's negative Nellies at your work now. There's negative Nellies at the grocery store, or the guy that's going to honk behind you that, you didn't go the second the light turned green. So that's just life. But you got to get over that.
Yeah. And kind of just remind yourself, like, that's something that they're dealing with.
Yeah, it wasn't about me.
Sharing positivity.
It wasn't about me at all. So, but, she doesn't know me.
Yeah.
So if she knew me, she'd know that that's the last thing that I would ever do.
Actually,
I'm going and looking for people that need to lose weight. I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of funny. Like, I look for people that are like-minded, that are Christians, that are moms, that love to plan, that like I have my people that I want to connect with because we have something in common, not because, oh, this lady looks like a, yeah, never. So, and maybe people do that. Maybe somebody had done that to her before and maybe she felt yucky. I mean, you just never know. So,
Yeah.
but
I was noticing that it's around 9:34, and I know you had some questions, Brigitte, that did you feel comfortable sharing them on here?
Yeah, I am trying to like remember when I was texting you yesterday, Tonya. I don't know if I have them like specifically like ironed out or whatever, but I am curious to learn like. So for me, I'm trying to figure out like, so if I were to become a coach, like how would my kind of day-to-day change? Or like, I know that like I'm already doing like the Instagram stories, or like I'm already obviously working out and eating well and like doing all those things and being active on social media, but like how would my day-to-day change? Or like how would that look different from like what I'm currently doing to what I would like need to be doing, or what you guys have found successful in what you're doing?
That's a great question. So you're already signed up as a discount coach, right? Yeah, so you're already like ready to go. One thing that Kristy and I have set in place is we have what we call an accelerated coach mentorship sign. We have that solely for people that want to use this as a business, that want to create a side income or a full-time income. So one of the things you could do is be in there, and then we post like a daily check-in of the vital behaviors. And what that is there's like a checkoff list like this. And just to kind of give you a general idea of what's on here, the top thing says, have you been approved of the product? You would check that off. The next section has, did you connect with anyone, invite anyone, and follow up? And that really depends on what you're able to do each day. We're never going to tell you, you need to invite this many people. We're never going to say you have to do it for this much time. It's really going to be what you feel comfortable with doing, and you can increase that or decrease that depending on what's going on in your life. We will give you guidelines on, if you want to have one person sign up with you, a good general rule of thumb is usually for every 10 people that you might talk to about this, you might have one person say, I'm kind of curious, and they may or may not sign up. So let's kind of give you an idea. Our general goal for someone who just signs up that would like to make an income with it would be having 3 to 5 people signing up for a boot camp. So 3 people in a month. So it's not like a ton when you think about it. That would give you what we call Success Club 5 or 6. You can get a couple points for people based off of what they sign up with. And then a coach who has Success Club points for 3 months in a row after they sign up gets a free ticket to Coach Summit that's in New Orleans. And then if you do that for 6 months, I know that was my goal when I first signed up. I was like, okay, I want a free ticket to that summit thing that they talk about. I had no idea what it was. I had not seen anything about it. But now that I've gone, it's one of those events where you hear these powerful speakers. You get to see and like hug everybody. I got to see Kristy again. I got to do my morning music with her. I woke her up to Shake It Off by Taylor Swift. But so you could get a free ticket to that. And if you do it for 6 months in a row, which was my second goal, they give you $200 in travel cash for that event. So I used that for the hotel. So the nice thing is you could get a free ticket there. And we had Rachel Hollis as a guest speaker there. Do you guys know how much Rachel Hollis costs to go see? It's like, isn't it in the hundreds? Like a couple hundred just to go watch one of her things? She's a really, really like top dog speaker. So you get a free ticket there. You would get a free travel cash. And you can move up the ranks, and there's bonuses that you can make while doing that as well. But the goal would be like 3 to 5 people. It's really like when you're first starting off, and if you want to try and go for more, you always can. But my aim when I first started was just having 3 people be interested. And so if that kind of gives you an idea of how many people you would want to kind of invite to this, the cool thing is when you first get started, they have a couple different things. They call your warm market and your cold market. And your warm market is your friends and your family. And I know you've said you've already had people start asking you about like what you're doing and stuff, right? So you already have some people kind of already interested in what you're doing. So you have this warm market of people who you're like, hey, do you want to do this with me? And you can invite them into this like you're inviting them to go to the gym with you. It doesn't have to be like a weird thing. You know what I mean? And I can't even remember when we started talking, I can't even remember if I invited you or if you saw a post. I can't even remember how it went down. Do you remember how it went down?
Yeah, I feel like, because this was probably last summer, I think I was just seeing a lot of your like Facebook and Instagram posts and stuff, and I was like liking a lot of them or like making comments like, you go girl, I don't know, something like that. And then you messaged me like, hey, I see you've been like liking a lot of my posts or commenting, like, are you interested in learning more about what I'm doing? And I think we kind of had some initial conversations, and then I too was like, oh, I'm not, like, I've got my own thing, or like, I'm fine. And then I was like, oh, just kidding, like, I'm not fine, I do need
Sounds like me.
yeah. And then like, I mean, obviously I was going through like a lot of personal stuff too at the time. And like, I think being part of this group and like obviously exercising more and eating better and drinking more water and sleeping well, like all those things together helped me feel like I was doing a lot of really good stuff for myself. And then like the stuff that was really hard that was going on in my personal life, like it made it so much easier to deal with because I like already had this like really strong foundation with myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, I mean, that's only getting better like every single day. So I don't know. So I feel like, I mean, I know I reached out to you about this yesterday, Tonya, but I feel like this is, I think like now I've hit a year being with Beachbody and like working out and eating well and doing all the things. And I don't know, I feel like things with my career are sort of like fine. I feel sort of like complacent, but I'm like, maybe this is an opportunity of something that I can kind of delve into more and explore my passions. And I mean, I am getting a lot of people who are commenting like, oh my gosh, you look great, or your stories are so inspiring, or like, way to go. So it's like, maybe this is something I could like do a little bit more seriously. So yeah, I appreciate you guys talking about your journeys and what it's like. It kind of helps. I think for me, like my main concern, or the thing that I feel, I don't know, maybe what's holding me back or what have you, is like, I mean, well, what if I don't like meet my quotas, or like, what if I fail? Like, what if, I don't know.
Fail.
So that, I'm glad you brought that up. You don't ever have stock product. So you don't ever have to meet like a quota per se. So the only thing you really are doing is you're just gaining. Like you don't have to lose anything if you don't like, say you sign up this month and say like no one signs up, that's fine. Like you don't lose any money, you know, like you're not out anything, that you already have the discount coach. You would just keep on doing what you're doing. The cool thing is with that Success Club ticket to Coach Summit, if you were to sign up now in September, your official month 1 doesn't start until October. So you have a couple months to really kind of warm up and get comfortable, and get used to this little checklist. Basically, we've basically said everything that you would do. What we encourage, and we don't always get to do, is we would encourage like an hour to 2 on average of time spent, but you don't have to. Like if you don't have any time on a day, if you do like 15 minutes of that stuff, that's fine. You know, that includes your workout too, you know?
Yeah. So the hour to 2 includes the taking care of you that you should be doing anyway. It's taking care of your workout. It's taking care of growing in your personal development, which you should be doing personally anyway, just to be growing as a person, right? And you already said that you're posting on your stories and on your Instagram, so that's something that you're already doing. And so there's the inviting part and the following up part that maybe you're not doing yet. And you can decide as many people or as few people as you want to invite daily. And or many people. One of the things that we just talked on, we had a call the other night, was, you know, this girl talked about she didn't have a lot of time during the week. So she just spent several hours on one of the weekend days and That's when she did most of her inviting. And then the rest of the week, she worked on all the rest of the things and follow up. So you have to decide what works best for your schedule and works good for you. For me, I try to invite people every single day so I'm consistently in the habit of doing it. But sometimes it takes me a few days to follow up. Or sometimes I'm only able to follow up with a few people and then get behind because I can only, get so much done. But people don't worry about that. They're not concerned about, oh my gosh, she didn't, get back to me right away. People know that we have lives and that we're busy and that they're important. A lot of times Tonya and I'll even put in our stories like, we have had a really busy day. I will get back to you, and then sometimes my box is so clogged up that it's going to take me a couple of days. Like today, I spent 45 minutes just following up through messages. Now that's not an everyday thing. That was several days of me backlogged because we were on vacation this weekend. But it's just things like that. Like you just work in those pockets of time when you have the time and you do the best that you can. So it sounds like you're already doing like 75% of what, right? Don't you help lead their boot camps?
Yeah, she does.
Okay.
I'm not doing this one right now, but I have, yeah.
But you have in the past. Like I'm like, I know your name.
Yeah,
so,
she's already helped lead. She helped lead before she was even a discount coach.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the best things about our community. And, Tonya and I run our coach mentorship together, but our customer boot camps, we run separately, right? Because everybody does their own thing, right? We don't want our boot camps to be all congested with too many people. And she has her coaches and people that help her lead hers, and I have mine that help lead mine. So it's not oh, this is just my boot camp. It's an ours thing because my coaches and I lead the boot camp, and her coaches and her and some of her customers lead the boot camp. So you're not ever feeling like you're alone with the content or, oh my gosh, how am I going to, lead this boot camp? Because you're doing it together. And that's one of the things that I love the most about this community is that, and that's what I was talking to one of my coaches today. She's like, I would have felt so overwhelmed if we didn't do things the way that we're doing things. And I would have too. Like if I had to lead my first boot camp by myself, I would have been like the Hot Mess Express. But my first probably 3 or 4, I led with Kelsey, and then I realized, okay, this is what I need to do. And then I wanted to lead mine a little bit differently. And that's what's great about this community is it's your business and you get to do what you feel like is best. And like for me, my boot camps, we have, devotionals on Sunday. Well, I would have one of my girls be like, are all the boot camps like this? And I'm like, no, everybody's is different, right? Like you work on growing in the ways that your community needs to grow, right? And you work on the things that you need to work on, and you realize the things where you need help and you need to grow, and then that's how you get to run your groups. So I have found that very beneficial for my personal growth and for my community's growth. So
Oh, I was going to mention to you, if you do get signed up, there's a coach mentorship that's an online, like take it as your own pace. So that it fills in those little gaps of like, oh, how do I send like an order to somebody? Or how do I actually, we as a coach, even as a discount coach, we have what we call a back office where there's resources, there's trainings in there. So Beachbody actually, I feel like they give you more than enough trainings. I will never get through all the training opportunities they give you. Every single Monday, they have what they call a national wake-up call. And on this call, it's an hour long, usually 30 to 60 minutes, I forget. I always listen to the replay of it because it's a coach and they share their story, how they got started. They share some kind of technique that's really helping them in some kind of way. They're always taking someone that's using something that's really, really working well and helping them be successful. So Beachbody is always giving you tools. It's just, I think one of the most important things I had to find out was what am I going to do to set my own business hours so that I feel like I can be intentional in that time and not feel like I'm always working? Because it's easy for someone who's like a hard worker, like you have really good work ethic, Brigitte. I feel like for you, it's just going to be picking, okay, I'm just going to work during this time instead of like every single time you have an opportunity, because you don't want to be like you don't want to, your life isn't going to be just Beachbody, And something really cool that we're always reminded of by Dean and Kelsey or top coaches is in our stories, we also want to share like our life. Like you're going to want to share your dog, and you want to share like maybe you go out to eat, and you want to share like you as a person, because people want to be able to relate to you. And what I have found is when I just post about fitness all day long, or my boot camps all day long, that's not as relatable, So I try to mix in other things. I try to put my cute little puppy's face in there, just because I want to be relatable. I want them to see that I am a person. Sometimes I feel like no one's going to want to see this because my life is not extremely exciting day to day, but at least then they can recognize, oh, she's a person, and she's, walking her dog, going to the grocery store, making dinner, not just workout, if that makes sense. But so you'll definitely have tools to use so that you know what to do. And like Kristy said, the main thing it sounds like that you would just have to get comfortable with is just inviting people like one-on-one and following up with them. Following up is like really the secret sauce, because I took years. And if Kelsey and I wouldn't have kept in contact, and if she wouldn't have said, hey, are you sure? Or like other people have mentioned that, it took a few months later for people to say, sure, I guess I'll sign up. Or for you too, you said, nah, I'm all right. And then, we were talking, and I think you must have been liking something. And I was like, are you sure you don't want to try this out? And all right. So the follow-up is the secret sauce of our business. So anyway, I start to ramble on, so I'll stop now. But this little guy is helpful.
Very helpful. Hey, Melissa, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I was going to ask Melissa if she had any questions, or if she wanted to pop on and had any questions, or if she wanted to put anything in the chat.
Yeah, feel free to put it in the chat too.
Go ahead. I just wanted to make sure she didn't think we had forgotten about her, because I haven't forgotten about you, Melissa.
I have a question about, so you guys were talking about like the mentorship programs. Like I know you're talking a lot about like the training that Beachbody offers, and like, so do I have access to those right now, having like the coach thing? Okay, so I should just go look at those things. But also like, so you guys also mentioned the mentorship that you guys do. Like, how is that different, or what does that look like?
Ours is, we kind of do a little bit more hand holding. It's almost like a boot camp for a coach. So basically each day we'll give you either a poll or a check-in question. And we're just reminding you, hey, did you invite, follow up? Did you listen to PD? And did you, were you a product of the product today? And we might have like a little tip or an inspirational quote. And we're just asking you to check in that day. And I'll be honest, yesterday, I did 0 invites and 0 follow-ups. Does that mean I'm a bad coach? No, I'm a diamond level coach, and I'm making an income, and I'm helping people in my boot camp. But on Tuesdays, I told my husband, you are my priority on Tuesdays. I need to make our relationship a priority on Tuesdays, because every other day during Monday through Friday, he's gone, and I don't see him until about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And so if I check in and put no, that's okay. But it is a nice reminder for myself, like the next day, okay, I should probably get going on these, so that, because I don't want to be stagnant and not do anything. But there are some weeks where if it's a really busy week, I might be, on Saturday, I might sit down and do a bunch of invites on the weekend, like in the morning after my workout. But anyway, so back to your question, it's like a daily check-in. And on Sundays, we've been kind of going over how we plan our week to make it really intentional. And we also will go live periodically on little helpful tips. We put in trainings in there. So Melanie Mitro is a top 10 coach. She's like a 6-time top coach. she is like a superstar kind of coach, basically. Like she is, I think she's even part of the Legacy Club.
I think she is too. She's amazing.
Legacy Club just means since she's been in this business, she's made over $1 million. So we had a training with her speaking to you guys. So our team, our big team with Kelsey and Dean, they must have hired her on, and we share that with you, and we invite you into being able to listen to those kind of speakers talk. We also had Angie Lee come and talk, and she is a professional marketer. She's really good at sharing stories and really kind of attracting like people who are your niche. And all that means is people who are really going to connect to you. She really talks about how you don't want to try to attract everybody. Because when I first started, I thought I wanted to share this with everybody. It's really good to kind of zone in on the people that you really connect with. And that's okay if not everybody is going to connect with you. And she really helps with marketing, and she's a genius. If you ever go on to Instagram, Angie Lee is her name. Is that her handle, Kristy? Is it Angie Lee?
I think it is Angie Lee. I was listening to her podcast today. She also has a podcast that you can listen to. So she's just real inspirational, and that's the thing about our mentorship is that we add things in there. We're part of it ourselves. So it's nice to be able to be part of that so that we have resources to share with you guys to help you grow. And you take those resources, you take what you feel like you need to be working on, and you use that. It doesn't mean that you have to listen to every single podcast or read every single book or listen to every single training. It means maybe you listen to it 5 minutes and are like, whoo, this is what I needed to hear. Or maybe you listen to it 5 minutes and are like, whoo, this is like not for me. So there's lots of resources, but there's no have-tos, right? Like the have-to is what you need to do to be building your business. And that's one of the things that we really try to teach our coaches is that this is about you and what your goals are and how you want to work your business and how you just what you need for you and how you want to help other people best. So I'm sorry, I was trying to look at Angie Lee, then I got distracted, and then I saw Melissa popped up a question. It's the Angie Lee Show is what her handle is.
She's really, really good. And what I liked about her training is she immediately took action steps. So while I was listening to her training, I was driving home from work and I pulled into a gas station and I immediately took a couple notes and I created a post. And from that post that she sent me, I had someone privately message me and say, oh my gosh, me too. And so she's that, that's very rare that you get someone who immediately messages you like that. But there was something that spoke to me in her training, and I just felt like I had to kind of write that down. So those are the kinds of people that we like to share with you. Like we think that would be beneficial. But like Kristy said, it's really what you feel will help. But we created that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kristy.
Sorry. Well, I just wanted to tell the ladies too, and I want to answer Melissa's question, but we also offer what we call power hours. Mm-hmm. And especially when you're new, we lead guided power hours to help you do that list. And we go through different systems of showing you how to invite, showing you how to follow up, showing you different systems of how to maybe track people so that you don't lose track of things. So the power hours, we offer 2 or 3 a week. And it's me and Tonya and then another coach, Ashley, that lead that mentorship. And so sometimes we do silent power hours and we just get together as a team and work together for an hour. So we'll be on here, except everybody's muted. We're working. If somebody has a question, they can pop it up in the chat and one of us leaders are on there to help answer that and to help guide you. Or sometimes we do the guided power hours where we're like, okay, we're going to spend 5 minutes adding to our network. We're going to spend 10 minutes inviting. We're going to spend 15 minutes following up. We're going to spend 10 minutes creating a post. So we do those things together. And I think especially whenever you're new in this business, it's beneficial to have a team that offers that to help you, because for me as a new coach, that was my biggest fear of how am I going to make I have this sheet of paper, but how am I going to make the things on this sheet of paper happen? And having that group of women to do that together with, and see 2 or 3 people up on the screen and on their phones doing stuff, and realizing like, I'm not alone. This is okay to do this. This isn't creepy. Because that was my biggest thing at first, is like, are people going to think I'm creepy, like inviting them? Because I don't want them to feel that way at all. But you feel better within that community. So I just wanted to say there's lots of different things that we offer in that accelerated mentorship. So, And Melissa, I think that's a great question. You absolutely do not have to sign up to be a coach to join our community. So one of the things, if you did decide, okay, tell Brigitte. Ugh, I'm sorry. I want to make you some type of meal.
I had a teacher in middle school who said, "Oh, Brigitte, like parakeet." I was like, "Well, not really, but I guess if that helps you." So
that's our maiden name was Bird, and so I had a teacher ask me if I wanted to fly back into the classroom after I was talking. Yeah, so maybe I'll remember that now. Bird, parakeet. Sorry. But as far as the coach discount goes, so she's a discount coach, which means she's just using that discount coach to get her products at 25% off. So maybe she drinks Shakeology every month, or maybe she does the Recover and Energize. So it's just a way for you to get a discount on your products as well. So if you don't have to sign up to be a coach, period. You have the option to sign up to be a discount coach, which is what I did when I started. And I'm pretty sure Tonya did as well. I think that's how we both started. And then if you decide that you want to work the business later, well, you can do that. So it's not I have to, it's I can start this way, or I can start this way, or I can start that way. It's just whatever works best for you and what you feel most comfortable with. So
I will say that if you want to sign up as the discount coach, you can cancel that for free anytime. So it's nice to sign up because it's waived. It's normally a $39 enrollment to become a discount coach. But if you sign up with a challenge pack, which are just the tools that you would use, the workouts and the shakes, or the workouts and the performance stack, that fee is completely waived. That fee is $40. It's completely waived. And then if you don't feel like the products are for you, you can cancel that for free without anything, without any fee or anything. I wanted it because Shakeology has helped me so much. And I use Energize and Recover. So it helps me save a significant, about $64, I believe, just in those products alone. It's like 32 something for Shakeology that you save off of it, the 25%, and then it's around the same for Recover. And now I get the collagen as well, which my husband started using, you guys.
No way.
He wanted it for his joints.
Really?
He dove into my expensive bag that's double the cost of our collagen. And I was like, what are you doing? He goes, well, I wanted to give my knee some extra whatever. He's a physical therapist with background in nutrition.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's really cool because he
actually knows what he's talking about. Whenever I have a question, I always ask him. I'm like, so is this worth this, or this ingredient? What can this do? And so yeah, he's a physical therapist. His background is nutrition. And so he uses Shakeology. He likes our collagen. He makes his own pre-workout from scratch. It doesn't taste as good as ours though.
Ours tastes like chocolate milk.
Our pre-workout.
The Energize.
Actually, he'll sometimes put in mine because he does think it tastes better, but he likes to make, he does his own little concoctions with a little
funny
scale. Yes, he's ridiculous.
I had to drink Energize twice today.
No judgment. No judgment.
No. I had to shake one up before I picked the kids up from school today. I was like, whew. I've been having crazy dreams, y'all. So they have for me tonight not to have crazy dreams.
I'm not going to lie, you guys. I keep it Energized in my desk drawer. And all I had was this. And so yesterday at 9 a.m., I took a second dose. I did a shot and then one of these, because I was just feeling it so much yesterday too. It's better than, for me, coffee. I like coffee, but it messes my stomach up. So I try not to drink it too much because it's a lot of acid, but
the coffee messes my stomach up too. I love a good cup of coffee, you guys, but
yeah.
Whew.
Anyway, so I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we missed. Brigitte, did you have any other questions? Or Melissa, did you have any other questions?
I'm trying to I feel like there's something we missed too.
Yeah.
I had another question, but I don't remember. You guys have been giving a lot of really, really great information, and I feel less like nervous or whatever, because I'm like, well, I guess it does not seem like as much of a leap as I anticipated. And I think like what you guys are both good examples of, like, it seems like it's sort of what you make of it. Like you could probably do it full time if you wanted to and do nothing else. I'm sure that there are people that do that. Or it can be kind of like a side thing that, I don't know. So I feel like it sounds like there's a lot of different ways to make it work.
Oh yeah.
There are tons of different ways, and you just make of it what works best for you. And for me and Tonya, we both have other jobs, and this is something that it brings us joy and helps fill our cups. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, that's how it is for me. And so for me, I'm not planning on replacing my career with this, but this is what's filling my cup because my career doesn't. So I don't know if that makes sense, because I love my job, but my job is numbers. My numbers don't help people, right? Like it brought me joy whenever I reconciled the books yesterday and I found my 50 cents that I couldn't reconcile. That was awesome after 3 hours, but I really was excited. I'm such a dork. I was like, I'm gonna find this 50 cents if it's the last thing that I do. And I found it, right? And it was fun, but like it didn't like fill my cup, right? Like I didn't feel like, oh, I really helped that 50 cents. Like
and I will say, there are some coaches. There's a coach who works as a full-time professor with a doctorate degree. She works full-time doing that. She's also a top coach. And I think she might be part of the Legacy Club. So I know that Kelsey's talked about her work hours. She consistently puts in like 2 hours a day of like work time. And then she'll also do her workouts. She may do like a call like this in addition, but she's created a very solid income, like multiple six-figure income. And I don't think she's putting in a full day's work of this. She's taking care of her kids full time. And then she sprinkles in a few hours here and there throughout the day based off of what she's told us and what I see her doing. It could be a little bit different, but I feel like you're able, like if you wanted to stay at your job, that is a possibility. If you wanted to create significant income. But like Kristy said, everyone's completely different. There's some people who do it as a hobby. Some people that just want to pay off like their gas. I would like to pay off my debt and purchase a car in cash eventually. But my main focus is always my health is priority number one. One of my goals when I started, we forgot to talk about this. You can earn rewards trips. And so one thing that I started is if you consistently hit Success Club, which is just 5 or 10 each month, they tend to invite you to that rewards trip. And they can pay for that trip based off of your Success Club points. And so Kristy and I were invited to that trip. And so far, based off of our points, we're both likely going to be having that trip paid for us by Beachbody. So and we're going to Punta Cana. So it's a pretty exciting thing because I work as a social worker, and for Christmas, we are given a fruit basket no matter how hard I work. So to get a trip to like a beach or something is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is awesome. I went on the Success Club trip last year, and I went on a Beachbody cruise, and we were on the second biggest cruise ship in the world, and it was just Beachbody. Nobody else except for the people working on the cruise and Beachbody people. And it was an absolutely incredible ship. It was an amazing experience. I got to meet so many people. I got to work out with all of the trainers. So Autumn was there, Joel was there, Jericho was there. They have Shakeology out at all the bars after the workout. So instead of, alcoholic beverages, it's just like all the Shakeology that you could possibly want to drink. And it just was a really neat experience to go and see and be. They had a couple of trainings, and the rest was just relaxing and going to the beach and spending time with my husband. And I received an invitation, but I was a new coach at that point. And so a little over half of my trip was paid for Beachbody, but I got the invitation to go. And so it was so inexpensive. Like a cruise like that would probably cost like $6,000 or $7,000. And I think I paid, it was less than $1,000 for us to go. And I think that was including our airfare. So, that's like, ooh, that's a lot of money. But if you think of how much they paid for me to go, and my husband, I got to bring a guest with me, which was really awesome. And that's what Tonya and I are going to Punta Cana in March together, and we're getting to take our husbands with us. And it's going to be super awesome. And we're going to get to hang out for 5 days and lay out on the beach and work out with the trainers and connect and grow and sit and work on our businesses a little bit together, but get to relax and just enjoy an earned trip, which is, I'm excited about it. So.
Yeah. If Eric can't go, you can come with me, Brigitte.
Oh, no.
Is he taken off? What's that?
Is he not going to be able to come?
I told him to come, and he wants to come. And then yesterday he goes, I should probably take off work for that. And I was like, you think? Honey, I told you this, when did we get the invite? Last December? Last November? It was last fall.
Time. I know.
It's been about a year.
Come on, bro.
I know. I put in my request off, but I haven't heard back yet. But those trips are just a cool way of being able, they do, Beachbody is one of the best companies at recognition. And by that, I mean, they love shouting out people who are doing a good job. They love sharing positive things going on in the company, and they love going on these trips. And I think they do a really nice job of that. So
I do too.
That's part of the vital behaviors is, who did you celebrate? So it reminded me, in my stories, I'll celebrate a boot camper like I did yesterday, Nicole. I put her message that she sent me. I talked to her and I asked her, hey, do you mind if I share this? That's why it was from last Thursday, because we were talking back and forth first. And I wanted to make sure she was cool with it. And she was like, as long as it can help somebody. So that's really cool. But it just reminds us to celebrate people and to celebrate, all those results that they're getting and inspire other people along the way. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think we covered everything. If there's any questions.
I think Melanie said she's good. You good? Everybody good?
Well, if you are interested, Briggy, you can take your time, think about whatever you want to do, and then just let me know. I usually send a welcome letter that gives you kind of your next steps. I'm going to guide you along the way. I'm never going to be like, all right, good luck. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're going to be here and I'll be like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah, we got to get you in that accelerated mentorship too. So it's a fun place to be and a great way to meet people and feel connected with the community right away as well. So
yeah, it sounds really exciting and interesting. And maybe the next thing that I need to kind of just continue on the path that I'm going on. So,
and you can always try it and then be like, eh.
That's very true. And people do that. So
yeah, everyone's different. I just have found that for me, it's helped me stick with my health. I've never felt in better overall health than I have since I've done this. life still gets stressful. You still have to deal with those things, but I feel like I'm coping better with my overall wellness because of the personal development and showing up for the workouts and stuff like that. So that's truly the part that I love the most, that and helping people. But like, I feel like I'm in a better place because of it. So if anything, it does that. So beyond the extra income that can come in. You know what we didn't go over? And Brigitte, you and I can always talk about this because I'm looking at the time and I don't want to be disrespectful of your guys' time. But if you, like, as you get in, the mentorship will go over this too, but how you get compensated and how you make those bonuses so that you can work smarter versus harder, things like that. Because there's an entry-level coach and then there's a rank above that's called Emerald. And as soon as you're an Emerald, you make these bonuses. And it's pretty easy to get to an Emerald. And so if you are interested, let me know and we can talk more about those little pieces so that you can work smarter versus harder. Because I don't want you to have to do more work than you think, to be able to get from different ranks and stuff. So, yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you guys for sharing so much information. This has really been a really helpful, good way to spend my evening.
Well, good.
Thanks for joining us for so long. Thanks, Melissa.
Thank you guys so much. It was so nice. Melissa, it was good to have you. And you, I'm not going to mess up your name again. I'm going to say you.
I'm not going to lie. I don't remember. So which middle school teacher said that, Brigitte?
That was when I was like living in a different spot because I moved to our hometown when I was in like 10th grade.
Oh,
so
okay.
Then like I'm in the place before. So.
Oh, Kristy, Brigitte and I went to the same high school.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and she lives in Chicago, so I would finally have someone that lives by me. Everyone on our
met up.
We did a super Saturday together.
I know, we need to. I was emailing back and forth with Sophie and she was like, yeah, we should meet up. And I was like, yes, we need to. But you know what it is? I'm in the suburbs and they're in the city.
Far.
And we both are like, that's really far.
Yeah. Well, I think what we need to do is we just need to like look ahead and like pick a Saturday or a Sunday or something and just like commit to it, like pencil it in and just do it.
I may have invited her to something, but I was kind of hoping she would like fall in love with my brother-in-law. It probably was intimidating. I'll come to you so you're not like, is he gonna be there? Is she trying to set me up?
Well, hey, I'm open to that as well. So.
Oh my gosh. Hey, there's nothing better than matchmaking. My husband and I were matchmade together, so.
Well, and I would love to have you in my family. Just saying.
I just think it's so funny. Like, I mean, I'm sure this speaks to volumes to everything that Beachbody does too. But it's just so funny. Even like, yeah, Tonya and I went to high school together, but we didn't talk for 9 years or whatever. Like we were Facebook friends, but that's really all. And like we now have been talking a lot more and like being communication and doing all this stuff and checking in. But it's funny how you guys like obviously met through doing this too. So it's interesting how it like brings people together and like you feel connected to people in a way that you wouldn't have before. So
yeah. And I never would have crossed paths. I mean, I live in Texas. She lives in Illinois. Like we are like far, far away from each other, and no way we would have ever crossed paths. So, and we're like besties now.
Yes, and I feel like it encourages you to really communicate more often with other coaches because you're working with each other all the time. Versus I have people who I'm best friends with. I love them to death, but it might go like a month or two where I won't, we're not connecting as much because we live in different states. And that sucks. But that's, when life kind of gets busy, so it's nice that this kind of like brings you together because you're working together. So it makes it nice because you can have that built-in community where you're talking and you're sharing with people, and it's people who want to kind of live a healthy life like you do. And so you tend to have a lot in common. I mean, Kristy and I have many things that are different, but we have a lot of like our core beliefs are really solid. And so we just have a really good connection that way. So I found that you just build so many good friendships through this.
Yeah. It's been
I
pretty
mean, we
awesome.
shared a room at Summit and we like only had breakfast together one time. I had no idea.
Let's hang out. Will you pick me up from the airport in Chicago and drive me? I thought, I mean, if somebody had told me that was going to happen 5 years ago, I would have been like, stranger danger.
Oh,
yeah, Tonya, pick me up at the airport, and some other girl that we'd never even met.
I never met her.
Town, except we were like besties by the time we were in Indianapolis. So, I mean,
it's fun. It's a lot of
fun. We're real people, and we like to have a good time. And we like to work out and, eat rice cakes. I'm totally joking.
Yeah.
I do like rice cakes.
But the part that gets me really excited, the part that I'm really, really excited, Brigitte, is that if you did sign up, not that I'm trying to pressure you, you have to come to Summit with me if you do sign up, because that is the most fun. Like, you're working out in the street with these lights and all the trainers. And like, I know you love Joel. You're all about that Lift 4. And like, they get on the stage and like, you feel like they're looking at you. Like, it's like, you're real. It's just the coolest thing. So if you sign up, like if you want to do this, you have to come to Summit with me. Yeah. I mean, it's so
might
fun.
even get the chance to meet Jericho like I did. Or Autumn on the cruise. I got a selfie with them both. So I was like, I'm not afraid to ask. I'm like, I need a picture.
Yeah. Well, Jericho dropped the picture on my phone.
I know, that was pretty awesome. Yeah.
So is that Summit, that's the New Orleans one you're talking about?
Yeah, New Orleans next year. We already have our hotel rooms.
I got my hotel room. You can stay in it.
Oh, yeah.
You have a hotel room to stay in on the site. Yeah. Because we both have been doing this for a while, so we got like first dibs. They told us about it. We like locked that in like.
Yeah. We're like, I know this is what I'm going to be wanting to do. So.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to lie. I had a really hard time deciding if I was going to go to Summit this year because someone that is in my friend group got married the same weekend. And I had made this commitment before I knew about their wedding, and I was debating on canceling it. And I was thinking, well, I was going back and forth. And I eventually decided to go with on the trip. And I'm glad I did, because these are the people that I spend every day with. These are the people that are there for me. And this friend, although I love her, she's a great person. She's not someone I've ever hung out with, just us. She's not someone that we call each other or talk to each other or text each other just to hang out. She's within the group, but we've never done anything alone. And it was a hard decision, but overall, I feel like I made the right one spending time with everybody over that weekend, because it was like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
And it was just so inspiring to just be there and hear the speakers, and it was really cool. But it's hard to explain it. What's that?
It was awesome.
Yeah. It was my first one.
Yeah, it was my
first newbie still.
I had FOMO the whole year before, wished that I had gone, and then I was so glad that I went this year. It was like my girls' weekend.
But if that doesn't tell you guys something, if you think about it, what month is it? September? So next September, that's about the place. I mean, I've only been doing this for less than a year and a half. When you think about it, like I just signed up last April. So to think about like where you could be if you wanted to do this, like it doesn't take much time to really kind of pick up and get things going. Yeah. So don't think that you don't have the possibility to do it, because I just started April 2018, only a few months after you jumped into boot camp.
Yeah.
And so I just was like, I just needed it.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's just so crazy to think about that timeline. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, but anyways, I'm seeing it's almost 10:30, so I'll let you guys go. We got to be up early.
Gotta get up at 5 for the workout.
Yeah, I know. I'm doing it. People are always like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. How do you work out so early? I'm like, because I say I'm going to, and then I just do.
Yeah.
And you know what? Brigitte was not a morning person before, right, Brigitte? I kept inviting her, and she's like, nah.
Maybe someday. But man, it's just so funny. I feel like the thing that I keep saying to people is like, people say like, oh, if you eat well and you exercise and you whatever, like you'll feel better. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's just like what they say. But then you do it and then you're like, oh my gosh, this is so true. And I feel like it was the same with the morning workouts. Like I now feel like I have so much more energy. Like yesterday I did not get up early and work out because I was like up really late the night before and I was like, I need to sleep in.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so weird. Like I felt like even though I got more sleep, I had less energy because I like didn't start my day off in like productive, like good way, which is crazy.
I'm the same exact way. Even if it's just like 10 minutes, I feel, and I work with kids who are really, really struggling, and I feel like I need to be like on my A game. Like I might have to call the police at any moment. I might have someone try to harm themselves, and I need to be like ready, Sorry, it went down the wrong tube.
Technology is an hour old, Tonya. Come on, like you can't.
It went down the wrong tube. It still tastes good. It's my pumpkin.
I know, but it's still an hour old.
It still is good though. Some of them get more like icky. This one actually is not too bad. We got to do our boomerang.
Oh, let's boomerang, friends. It's time for a little wave. Get your
I got to get my phone ready.
pageant waves ready. Oh, look how cute.
You have to say her name. I always butcher it.
So her name, like my name is also difficult. Her name is Brynja.
Brynja the pup.
Yeah.
The Doxy. The dash.
So cute.
All right, you guys ready?
I'm ready.
I'm excited. I was going to say I'm excited for Brynja, and then I stopped talking. Oh, I look kind of sad. Should we do it again?
I love it.
I like your face, Kristy. You're like,
fine. I'm like, my hair is crazy.
You want to do it again?
I'll do it again.
Yeah, I want to look happier because I was mouthing. I was gonna Brynja. I was mouthing it as I was waving, so my smile looks funny. Melissa, do you want to get on the wave? You don't have to. We're just being silly. Alrighty. Okay.
Ready?
I'm ready now.
Okay.
You guys ready? Oh my goodness. Oh, you're gonna laugh. I'm gonna send you that one.
It's all right. I was shy at first too, Melissa. Like I told you, I felt like I was gonna throw up when I started posting on social media. So.
And the funny thing is now we do it so often, it's kind of like, if you have like a bad day or a bad hair day, like today.
Oh, well, what's funny? Okay, we've got to go. But my last little thing is I was listening to Angie Lee today, and she had Shalene on, which, like.
I love Shalene.
I love Shalene. Like, Shalene is my, workout, angel. Like, I love her. And, oh my God, now I forgot what I was going to even say. I got all excited about Shalene. What were we talking about? I'm tired, y'all. I usually go to bed at 9.
Bad hair days or something?
Yes, I said even if you have a bad hair day.
So she was talking about
often
how she doesn't ever get on social media without having her eyelashes and her makeup on. And I thought, that's so funny because when I started, I wouldn't have been caught dead going to the grocery store without my makeup. I wouldn't have been caught dead in any situation without my makeup. As a matter of fact, I've gone to the hospital to have surgery and put all my makeup on before I went. So, but now I get up in the morning, I get on and talk to my people. Melissa sees me without makeup every day. Tonya sees me every day without makeup. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm not putting my face on before then, and I'm completely comfortable with it now. So it went from 40, because I'm 42, y'all. I went for like what, 40 years of, well, I didn't wear makeup when I was little, but a lot of years of my life where there's no way that I would be seen without any makeup on since the 6th grade, right? And then now where I'm just like, whatever. I'll even go to the kids' school without it. So it may, the confidence that I've received just by something as silly as putting myself out there on social media. And it's like, oh, well, if I can do that with people that I haven't met in person, I can do that wherever. So
I'm
it's
glad that you mentioned that. I'm
it's
the
just
same
showing
way.
growth of went from being like so self-conscious to, and that's one of the things that I put in my post the other day. It's like I went from like a much more confident person all the way around. It's
Yeah.
not like I'm like a size 2 people. Like that's not what I mean. It's just about so much more than just
Absolutely.
40 pounds down. So, okay, we need to go because we have to get up early in the morning. It's 10:29.
We just love each other. All right. Bye, guys.
Okay. Y'all have an awesome night and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.